Northern Limit Line, Yellow Sea, 1:15 a.m., moonless night, near zero visibility. ROKS Cheonan, South Korean Pohang-class corvette, conducting routine patrol along the maritime border. Standard operation, 23rd patrol this month, crew of 104, nothing unusual detected. Then sonar operator heard it, faint propeller signature, 800 meters, closing fast, not surface vessel, submarine, North Korean waters. Before captain could react, Torpedo was in the water. High-speed wake heading directly toward the corvette's hull. 20 seconds to impact. North Korea had been planning this for 6 weeks. Sink a South Korean warship, create casualties, force diplomatic crisis, demonstrate capability to strike without warning in disputed waters. They calculated perfect ambush. Moonless night, no air patrols visible. Corvette isolated from other ROK vessels. Single torpedo, single kill. Quick escape before anyone could respond. But North Korea made 5 catastrophic mistakes. First, U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft was 40 nautical miles away, sensors active, monitoring all subsurface activity. Second, 2 ROK Navy Lynx helicopters with dipping sonar were airborne 15 minutes south, ready for immediate anti-submarine tasking. Third, USS Chung-hoon, Arleigh Burke destroyer, was 28 miles east with SH-60 Seahawk helicopters on deck, crews at ready status. Fourth, Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force P-1 patrol aircraft was operating nearby, coordinating with U.S. and ROK forces. Fifth, the moment the Torpedo entered the water, North Korean submarine was detected, tracked, and targeted by 3 different systems simultaneously. 43 minutes, 1 torpedo evaded. North Korean submarine hunted, depth charged, forced to surface. Crew captured, submarine seized. Pyongyang's covert operation became international humiliation. This is that story. Northern Limit Line, disputed maritime boundary in Yellow Sea between North and South Korea. Not internationally recognized border, but respected by most nations. Line drawn in 1953 after Korean War armistice. North Korea disputes it, claims territorial waters extend further south. For decades, this area has been flashpoint, naval clashes, artillery exchanges, provocations. South Korean and U.S. forces patrol constantly. North Korean vessels probe regularly. Tensions always high. At 8 p.m. previous evening, ROKS Cheonan departed Pyongyang Island Naval Base. Mission: patrol Northern Limit Line overnight, monitor for North Korean vessel incursions, protect South Korean fishing boats, demonstrate presence. Standard operation conducted nightly. Captain Lee Jung-hoon commanded. Experienced officer, 20 years ROK Navy service, veteran of NLL operations. At 10 p.m., Cheonan reached patrol sector. Speed reduced to 12 knots. Zigzag pattern along the line. Radar active. Sonar listening. Crew at standard watch stations. Everything routine. Nothing unusual detected. At 11:30 p.m., U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidon took off from Kadena Air Base, Okinawa. Call sign Sentry 7. Mission: maritime patrol over Yellow Sea. Monitor North Korean naval activity. Coordinate with ROK Navy. Provide early warning. Advanced sensors, MAD, magnetic anomaly detector, sonobuoys, surface search radar, infrared imaging. At 12:45 a.m., P-8 entered patrol area, began deploying sonobuoys in grid pattern around Northern Limit Line. At 11 p.m., 50 kilometers north of NLL, North Korean Sang-O-class midget submarine departed underwater pen at Pipagat submarine base. Crew of 15. Commander, Senior Captain Ri Myung-soo. Orders received 6 hours earlier from Pyongyang. Proceed to Northern Limit Line. Locate South Korean warship. Sink it with torpedo. Create casualties. Withdraw immediately. Maintain radio silence. Sang-O class, 34 meters long. 130 tons submerged, diesel-electric propulsion, maximum depth 150 meters, armed with two 533mm torpedo tubes, deadly in shallow coastal waters, perfect for covert operations, nearly silent when running on batteries. At 12:30 a.m., North Korean submarine crossed northern limit line submerged. 40 meters depth, battery power only, no diesel engines, minimal noise signature, hunting for target. At 12:50 a.m., submarine's passive sonar detected surface vessel, bearing 185 degrees, range 4,200 meters, propeller signature matched South Korean corvette, target acquired. At 1 a.m., submarine closed to 2,000 meters, still undetected. Captain Ri studied sonar display, South Korean corvette moving slowly, predictable pattern, perfect target, decision made, close to 800 meters, fire torpedo. Sink ship, escape north. At 1:10 a.m., submarine increased speed slightly, closing distance. Torpedo tube 1 flooded, weapon armed, CHT-02D, torpedo loaded, wake homing, 40 knot speed, 240 kilogram warhead, designed to break ships in half. At 1:14 a.m., aboard Cheonan, sonar operator Petty Officer Kim detected faint contact. Captain, passive sonar contact, bearing 005, range approximately 1,000 meters, classification uncertain, possible submarine signature. Captain Lee, increase sonar gain, get better classification, helm, maintain course and speed, weapons ready anti-submarine mortars. But before Kim could refine classification, signature changed. At 1:15 a.m., North Korean submarine fired, torpedo launched. High-speed propeller noise filled sonar displays. Kim shouted, "Torpedo in the water! Torpedo in the water! Bearing 005, high-speed screws closing fast." Captain Lee, all hands brace for impact! Hard right rudder, flank speed, launch decoys! Cheonan's helm responded instantly. Ship turned hard starboard, engines to maximum, noisemakers deployed, creating acoustic signatures to confuse torpedo's homing system. Torpedo racing at 40 knots, Cheonan accelerating to 32 knots, distance 800 meters, time to impact approximately 20 seconds. At 1:15:10 a.m., torpedo passed 400 meters, still locked, homing on Cheonan's propeller noise. At 1:15:15, torpedo passed 200 meters, crew bracing, damage control teams ready. At 1:15:18, Cheonan's sharp turn and decoy noisemakers confused torpedo's guidance. Wake homing system lost lock, search for target, propeller cavitation signature disappeared. At 1:15:22, torpedo passed 50 meters behind Cheonan's stern, missed, continued south searching. Eventually ran out of fuel, sank without exploding. Cheonan survived, 0 casualties, but attack confirmed. North Korean submarine had fired torpedo at South Korean warship in disputed waters. Act of war. At 1:15:25 a.m., Captain Lee transmitted emergency signal. ROKS Cheonan to Fleet Command. We have been attacked by torpedo. North Korean submarine, torpedo evaded. Request immediate anti-submarine support. Submarine bearing 005 from our position. We are prosecuting contact. At 1:15:30, 3 things happened simultaneously. First, U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidon 40 miles away received alert. Sentry 7 crew immediately activated all sensors. MAD detected submarine's magnetic signature. Sonobuoys pinpointed exact location. Lieutenant Commander Rachel Torres, contact confirmed, North Korean submarine, bearing 355, range 38 miles from our position. We have positive track, transmitting coordinates to all Allied units. Second, 2 ROK Navy Lynx helicopters on training exercise 15 miles south received tasking. Wildcat 1 and Wildcat 2 proceed immediately to coordinates. North Korean submarine has attacked ROKS Cheonan. Rules of engagement: locate, track, force to surface. Weapons free if submarine attempts escape into North Korean waters. Third, USS Chung-hoon received alert. Commander James Mitchell, launch both Seahawks, ASW loadout. Get them airborne in 5 minutes. That submarine is not escaping. At 1:16 a.m., North Korean submarine commander realized torpedo missed. Sonar showed South Korean corvette still underway. Attack failed. Immediate decision required. Try second torpedo or escape. Captain Ri. Emergency dive, maximum depth, silent running, head north, get across the line before they find us. Submarine descended to 120 meters, reduced speed to 4 knots, nearly silent, attempting escape. But submarine was already tracked. At 1:18 a.m., P-8 Poseidon deployed additional sonobuoys directly in submarine's path, passive and active acoustics, creating underwater tracking network. Submarine had nowhere to hide. At 1:20 a.m., P-8 crew had perfect track. Submarine heading north at 4 knots, depth 120 meters, distance from NLL 3 nautical miles, time to North Korean waters 45 minutes at current speed. At 1:22 a.m., first ROK helicopter arrived. Wildcat 1 deployed dipping sonar, lowered hydrophone array into water, active sonar pings, boom, 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 sound waves traveling through water, reflecting off submarine hull, perfect echo return. Contact, submarine confirmed, bearing 358, range 2,400 meters, depth 120 meters, positive identification as Sang-O class, we have him. At 1:24 a.m., second ROK helicopter arrived. Wildcat 2 moved to blocking position north of submarine, preventing escape route. 2 helicopters now had submarine triangulated. At 1:26 a.m., Wildcat 1 transmitted to submarine on emergency frequency in Korean. North Korean submarine, this is Republic of Korea Navy. You have attacked ROK warship. Surface immediately. Surrender your vessel. You are surrounded. If you attempt escape, we will use force. No response. Submarine continued north, still trying to reach North Korean waters, still 40 minutes away. At 1:28 a.m., ROK Navy Fleet Command authorized escalation. All units, rules of engagement updated. Force submarine to surface. Use depth charges if necessary. Submarine crew must be captured alive if possible. Submarine must not reach North Korean waters. At 1:29 a.m., Wildcat 1 made first attack run. Helicopter positioned directly over submarine. Released single Mark 54 lightweight torpedo. Splash. Torpedo entered water. Activated immediately. High-frequency sonar pinged submarine, closing at 45 knots. Sophisticated guidance, nearly impossible to evade in shallow water. At 1:29:40, North Korean submarine detected torpedo. Captain Ri. Emergency evasive. Hard left rudder. Full speed. Deploy countermeasures. Submarine turned desperately. Accelerated. Speed increased to 12 knots, maximum for battery power, but Mark 54 followed. Advanced tracking. Closing distance. At 1:30:10, Mark 54 struck submarine. Not direct hit on hull. Proximity detonation. Exploded 10 meters from submarine starboard side. 44 kilograms of explosives. Massive underwater shockwave. Submarine rocked violently. Hull plates buckled. Electrical systems failed. Battery compartment flooded. Propulsion lost. Lights went dark. Emergency lighting activated. Crew injuries. 3 sailors injured by impact. Submarine losing depth control, descending. Captain Ri. Blow ballast tanks. Emergency surface. We're going down. Compressed air released into ballast tanks, forcing water out, providing buoyancy. Submarine began rising. At 1:31 a.m., Sang-O class broke surface. Hatch opened. Crew members emerging. Hands raised. White cloth waving. Surrender. At 1:32 a.m., both ROK helicopters circled surface submarine, searchlights illuminating, door guns aimed. Wildcat 1, submarine has surfaced, crew surrendering, request surface vessels for boarding. At 1:34 a.m., ROKS Cheonan arrived, approached carefully, weapons trained on submarine. Captain Lee, prepare boarding party, medical team ready, we're taking that submarine. At 1:38 a.m., ROK Navy boarding team secured submarine. 15 North Korean crew members detained, all alive. 3 injured, non-critical. Submarine captured intact. Torpedo remaining in Tube 2. Intelligence treasure. At 1:42 a.m., USS Chung Hoon's helicopters arrived. Provided top cover. ensured no North Korean reinforcements. At 1:45 a.m., Japanese P-1 patrol aircraft arrived, coordinated with P-8 and ROK helicopters, complete air coverage established. At 1:55 a.m., 2 additional ROK Navy vessels arrived, submarine under tow, heading south to Pyongyang Island, away from northern limit line into South Korean waters. At 2 a.m., entire operation complete. 43 minutes from Torpedo launch to submarine capture, North Korean Navy headquarters in Nampo received last transmission from submarine at 1:14 a.m. Engaging target, then silence. For 6 hours, Pyongyang waited. No further communication, no confirmation of successful attack, no submarine return. At 7 a.m., North Korean command realized truth. Submarine lost, crew lost, operation failed completely. At 8 a.m., South Korean Ministry of National Defense held emergency press conference. At 1:15 a.m., North Korean submarine fired torpedo at ROKS Cheonan near northern limit line. Torpedo was evaded. No ROK casualties. Submarine was immediately hunted by combined ROK-US forces. Submarine forced to surface. Crew surrendered. Submarine captured intact. All 15 North Korean sailors are in ROK custody. Submarine is being analyzed. This unprovoked attack will be addressed through appropriate diplomatic and military channels. Global reaction was swift. United Nations Security Council convened emergency session. United States condemned attack. North Korea's attempt to sink South Korean warship in international waters is unacceptable aggression. We stand with our ROK allies. The professionalism of ROK and US forces in responding to this attack demonstrates the strength of our alliance. Japan statement. North Korea's attack threatens regional stability. Japan supports Republic of Korea's right to defend its waters. JMSDF coordination with ROK and US forces will continue. China's response was notably subdued. We are aware of incident in Yellow Sea. We urge all parties to exercise restraint. Dialogue is necessary. Captured North Korean crew provided valuable intelligence. During interrogation, Senior Captain Ri revealed orders came directly from Pyongyang's Naval Command. Mission objective: sink ROK warship, create casualties, force crisis, demonstrate North Korean capability, no consideration given to possibility of capture. Captured submarine revealed technical details: torpedo guidance systems, communication equipment, battery technology, navigation systems, crew training documents found on board. Intelligence value enormous. Strategic implications were significant. North Korea demonstrated willingness to conduct lethal attacks in disputed waters, but Allied response demonstrated overwhelming superiority in anti-submarine warfare. 3 different platforms tracked submarines simultaneously: US P-8 with sonobuoys and MAD. ROK helicopters with dipping sonar. Coordinated response within minutes. North Korean submarine never had chance to escape. Tactical lessons learned. Modern anti-submarine warfare technology makes diesel-electric submarines vulnerable in shallow waters. Multiple overlapping sensor systems eliminate hiding places. Coordinated multinational response multiplies effectiveness. ROK-US. Japan cooperation seamless. North Korean submarine fleet implications. Approximately 70 submarines in DPRK inventory. Most are small coastal types like Sang-O class, suitable for covert infiltration, special operations insertion, but vulnerable to modern ASW. Loss of submarine and capture of crew major blow to North Korean naval prestige. Political consequences. North Korea's attempt to create crisis backfired. Instead of forcing ROK into defensive posture, attack demonstrated Allied capability. Captured submarine showcased North Korean technological inferiority. Crew defection possibility raised. Some North Korean sailors requested asylum rather than repatriation. Enhanced cooperation resulted. ROK, US, and Japan increased coordinated ASW patrols. More P-8 and P-1 aircraft deployed. More helicopter. ASW training. Sonobuoy deployment strategies refined. Northern limit line now most heavily monitored maritime border in world. Deterrence reinforced. Future North Korean submarine commanders know attempted attacks will be detected immediately. Response will be overwhelming. Escape is nearly impossible. Capture is likely. Message clear. Attacking Allied vessels has consequences. Captain Lee and crew of ROKS Cheonan received commendations. Successful torpedo evasion, immediate counteraction, professional response under attack, 0 casualties despite being torpedoed, exemplary seamanship. ROK Navy helicopter crews received Valor Awards, rapid response, perfect execution of ASW procedures, forced submarine to surface without loss of North Korean lives when possible. U.S. Navy P-8 crew received recognition, outstanding sensor operation, real-time tracking, coordination with Allied forces, made submarine capture possible. 1:15 a.m. North Korean submarine fires torpedo at South Korean warship near northern limit line, attempting to sink vessel, create casualties, force crisis. 1:55 a.m. 43 minutes later, torpedo evaded, submarine hunted, depth charged, forced to surface, crew captured, submarine seized, complete Allied victory. This is Operation Steadfast Response. Proof that attacking Allied vessels triggers immediate, overwhelming reaction. Advanced sensors detect submarines instantly. Multiple platforms converge. Escape is impossible. Modern anti-submarine warfare eliminates hiding places. Northern limit line remains defended. Allied coordination seamless. Technology overwhelming. Deterrence absolute. Never attack Allied vessels. Forces always watching. Sensors always listening. Response always immediate. 43 minutes from attack to capture. Never fire torpedoes at Allied ships. Their submarine hunters always arrive.